Hello guys, this is IDQ, and in this video we'll go over some meta updates for each and every position, right? So for position 5, position 4, 3, 2, and so on. 2 heroes each, what I feel like is good right now with the meta changing a bit because of the secondary patches and also people figuring out what's good and what is not.
If you like this type of content, go to gamersclass.com. For just $9.99 a month, watch masterclasses with pro players, join exclusive live sessions, and get 24/7 access to coaches and other high MMR players. Get full control of your ranked games and start owning with our Supreme Dota 2 membership.
First, at position 5, I believe the Warlock is really good right now. There are multiple reasons. First of all, his Shadow Ward is really good in lane. As you can see, 15 times 12 at first level, which is it's a lot, right? It's about 180 HP, which is a tango at least. Yeah, a lot of HP that you can give to your cores and even damage to the enemies. So because of that, your core doesn't really need to buy a lot of tangos, right? There are a lot of salves and stuff like that. So you sort of solve the issue with the healing in lane. For example, in this lane, Venomancer is a really good hero against Void. However, they're able to, out-sustain him. Out-sustain all the damage that Venomancer is doing to them very easily because of this spell, Shadow Ward and stuff like that. You also can control the lane very easily with Fatal Bonds, push it whenever necessary. And you can do passive damage sort of to the enemies, right? Because of these Fatal Bonds. You don't really need to hit them, but they still take damage. If you go later in the game, Chaotic Offering is a really good spell, obviously. It has a huge range and can be used against BKB. I mean, it's piercing, it pierces BKB. So against a lot of cores that want to buy BKB, you're still going to be useful. If that doesn't work still, the shard is also really good on this hero. Turn Shadow Ward into an AoE spell. So you can basically heal 5 heroes. Heal all your team or damage all the enemy team, while also increasing movement speed in your team and slowing movement speed in an enemy's team. So it's really good. I think this shard is extremely powerful right now. At max level, you heal for about 550. So imagine that times 5. You heal like 2500 every 14 seconds with this spell. So the hero is just insane, super strong right now, to be honest. Item build for this hero could be something like Tranquil Boots, but I've seen people go for Arcane Boots, which I believe is better since all you need on this hero is mana, since you have heal anyway, right? But if you're like really poor, you can go for Tranquil Boots. And then Shard. You just get the Shard as soon as possible and just heal your cores, damage enemies. The hero is very useful just because of his Fatal Bonds and Ultimate. So I think this hero is really strong as position 5. The second position 5 hero would be Abaddon. I think this hero is really strong because it's a very strong laner. It's also really useful later in the game. And we also got buffed this patch. So first of all, as I said, is a strong laner. You can even get kill potential on people because of the slow from Curse of Awareness. If you have a melee carry, for example Ursa, Monkey King, something like that, Troll, you can slow people Orb Venom and this and just go ham at them. You can easily kill everyone with this. You can easily trade with opponents also because of W, a Photic Shield, or if you really need to, you can just max the first 2 spells. And the hero just becomes insanely strong. It heals a lot, it also has a dispel, so like not many heroes have this ability as him. What I would recommend on this hero is just buying something like a Soul Ring, Tranquil Boots, so you don't run out of mana and HP, then buy a shard as soon as possible. Increase Mystical and a Photic Shield to apply Curse of Awareness stack on enemies, increase base slow by 10%, but what we care about is lowering the cooldown for Mistcoil and a Photic Shield by 1 second. These are like low cooldown spells anyway, right? 5.5 seconds and 6 seconds at max level. So you have a lot of dispels, a lot of heals, a lot of magical damage absorption, so it's really strong because of this. This hero also enables pushing towers with Curse of Awareness and also taking Roche, so it's super strong because of that. After the Soaring and Triangle Boots, stuff like that, if you can, should probably get Obviously one, so you don't run out of mana. But the first like major item should be a solar crest, I believe. It just empower your carry even more, right, with attack speed and stuff, instead of just healing and dispelling. Yeah, if you skip ahead, you see that he has it queued up. So I think this hero is really, really strong. It is also very useful, same as Warlock as before, even if you don't have any farm, right? The Warlock stun from multi still pushes BKB even if you're level 5, I mean level 6 minute 10, right? Minute 50, minute 20, it doesn't really matter, you still are useful. Same as Abaddon. You still dispel spells, right? I mean dispel enemy spells and stuff like that. Even if even if you're having a bad game, like this, you're lowest in network, you're still useful. So because of that, I think it's really, really strong as a hero right now. You can also tank a lot of stuff and break smokes with ult, and yeah, it's not easy to shut down an Abaddon, to be honest. For position 4, I believe one of the best heroes is Dark Willow. This hero is incredibly strong early game, in laning stage especially, because you have a nuke, Shadow Realm, obviously, which also makes you hard to kill. So it's very, very easy to gain an advantage over your opponents because you could kill them. Also, you have a lot of control, right? You have 3 control spells and a huge amount of damage. No supports have this, right? Usually you either have like control and not a lot of the damage, or helping your teammates and not a lot of damage. But for example, look at this team fight. He goes in on enemy position 1, which is super, super farm. Highest in the game by a large margin. Controls him, almost solo kills the enemy position 1 carry. And then buybacks, comebacks in the team fight and gets 2 kills. Just because of the insane amount of control that is able to deal and utilize for his team. Like, he won this team fight. His teammates just went in and everyone just got controlled by Dark Willow. Look at this. It's an insane amount of control. This separates everyone from team fight. His Q then goes on Wraith King. Almost dying there first time. So yeah, Lina was split from the team fight because of the Bramble Maze, and then he dies because of the Pagna. But still managed to buy back. This guy's just auto position because of him. Same as Pugna is gonna get terrorized and stuff. It also allows you to get a lot of solo kills and cores with Pendulum. It's such an insane amount of damage, especially after you get Yule Scepter. A really cool thing about the hero is that you can do a lot of combos, right? For example, Mars with Terrorize and stuff like that, right? Any AoE is just super, super great with this hero. You also can save your cores with Terrorize. So you have an insane amount of control. Shard is also super, super good on this hero because it reduces cooldown by 3 and stun delay by 1 second. It also spawns 4 Bramble Mazes around the target, so it's just insane hero. I believe if we count up all the seconds that you can control someone rooted or something like that, it's like around 10 seconds. Not even counting the like 2000 damage that you can deal with Pendulum alone. So this hero is insane. It's super, super strong. The second position 4 hero is Snapfire. I think this hero is really, really strong right now, even after the nerf, right? It got buffed. Got buffed a bit at 7.29, but then I got nerfed at 7.29C. However, this hero is still super, super strong. His laning stage is insanely good. Like, especially if you pair it with another stunner. For example, Slaughter in this game, right? You can just toss Slaughter in with Fire Snap Cookie and then easily set up for the Slaughter W, right? Also, you just reduce an insane amount of armor. Look at this guy. It just melts. Loses all his HP. Easy kill from 100 to 0. And they didn't even do that much, right? It's very easy to execute this combo. You just stun into stun and then right click the opponent down. Because they lose so much armor. Minus like 5 armor or something like that. Yeah, it's just a lot of armor. Minus armor, I mean. Afterwards, your Aghanim Shard is super, super strong. It allows you to stun for extra 2 seconds. I mean, it just gives you a stun on Q, right? So it's 2 seconds here. You also have another stun from this, so you basically have like a 4.5 second stun on a hero that used to have just one stun, which is super strong. Other notable things about it is that if you combine Lil Shredder with like a medallion, you just destroy any tower and any hero, even Roshan. It is so much damage. But the thing is that it's not just like a hero that deals a lot of physical damage, right? It's a support, so it also has a spell that does an insane amount of damage, magical damage. This spell does like 1,000 damage level 1, so level 6, just PA just dies instantly almost, because of the position 4. Insane amount of damage. You also can, if you watch later in the game, as I said before, you can easily take Roshan and stuff like that. Very easy with this hero. So the item should be something like this. Solar Crest is actually like it's doing, and then anything else that you want. But first, just Solar Crest. Pair it up with Lil Shredder and everything just melts. Another thing about this hero that's really nice is that you're a strength hero, right? As you can see, it's like 1.7 thousand HP. Right here, it's just 1,300 HP with like nothing, no strength items, right? Or anything like that. As you can see. Like it's just a crown and this. That's it. You're so tanky as a support, and nobody can really like kill you 100 to 0 unless they're like really far ahead. So because of that, it's an amazing hero, to be honest. Right now, it's really strong. The first offlane hero is Centaur. I think this hero is still really strong, even after the nerfs that it received on Hoofstomp and stuff. It's still an amazing hero. It has a lot of nuking potential, as you can see right here. Like PA just dies because of the insane amount of damage that he can deal. So this spell, it's insane double edge. It does 120 damage in a 4-second cooldown. So in a spawn of 4 seconds, you can deal, combining with your hoof stomp, you deal 340 damage with no other attacks, no support damage, anything. So just level 2 you deal 340 damage just by spells, which is a lot, right? Everybody knows a lot. So the hero is really tanky, obviously a strength hero. You're also pretty hard to harass out of lane because you have a lot of HP, and also pretty big HP region, right? 3.6 in minute 3. So yeah, it's really good because of that. As you can see, even here they do a positive trade even though he was kind of low from before. So the first thing you want to do as a hero is just buy a Ring of Health, just like he did right here on Centaur. This makes you like unharassable, like no hero can do anything to you afterwards. It's an amazing hero to set up kills, right? Because you have a stun early game, and yeah, it's just really good early game. Afterwards, you want to buy either Hood of Defiance if they have a lot of magical damage here, which they do, Puck, Grimstroke and Earth Spirit, or a Vanguard if they don't have. The main thing is that you try not to die, right? And at this point, 9-10 minutes in, nobody can deal with you anymore. You're so tanky and stuff that a lot of heroes just leave you alone, right? Do whatever you want in the top lane if you're playing for Radiant, or bottom side if you're Dire. So the main thing is that you can always get farm, either by farming jungle with Retaliate and stuff like that, or just by being uncontestable, because you're so tanky that people don't really want to kill you because they would spend too many resources, right? Too many heroes, and your other cores would be full free farm. Just like here, it is super strong, super farm. So yeah, afterwards you want to buy Blink Dagger, so you can set up with a Hoop Stomp. It's an AoE spell, kinda low cooldown, 12 seconds, and even though the hero is a strength hero, it doesn't really suffer from mana issues because Double Edge doesn't require mana. You also are a great teamfight hero because you can tank for your team, but also Stampede, right? You can just catch people and get out of the team fight, which not other heroes do. I mean, not for the entire team, right? You would need like 5 4-steps or something like that to be able to do what he does just by pressing one button. So because of these reasons, I think that Centaur is still super strong right now. The second offlane hero is Timbersaw. I think this hero is still super strong even after the nerf that he received this patch. As you can see right here, He's like 1,000 gold behind enemy carry, and they're still forced to leave the lane, right? They're just going jungle because Timbersaw is just too strong for them. Even with max rocket barrage, um, Io gyro, they still cannot really do anything to Timbersaw anymore, just because of the natural hero tankiness. By reactive armor and a cloak, and you're like set, you're good to go. And you can like bully any hero out of the lane because of the pure damage that you have. So it's like you're just sort of an unstoppable force early game, and no hero can mess with you, right? So because of this, you're able to make a lot of space for your team. And even if you wouldn't make space for your team, your cores are simply going to have more farm than the enemies in the later stages of the game. They're gonna come back if they have a rough game, such as in this game, right? Wraith King is 1,000 gold behind gyro, and he's gonna have a decent time because Timbersaw is able to apply pressure on other lanes, take a tower, do stuff in the map for him, right? And the entire team doesn't really want to mess with him because it's gonna take them like 4 heroes to kill him, and even that is not even a sure kill. He might even just turn around. The hero is just super strong right now, and it has an insane amount of damage, right? Magical and pure damage because of his spells. So exactly why it is exactly this is why he's really good right now. As you can see right here, he's just able to apply pressure anywhere on the map, wherever he goes, without opponents having a move on him, right? Because he has like 30 armor, 35 armor, 10 minutes in. So it's really hard for the opponents to deal with him, while you still have a lot of damage for them, damage output. And even if you might lose your lane because you're playing against an Ursa or something like that, as I said before, you have pure amount of damage. So like, unless they have a BKB, you're like super strong, no matter what opponents buy. If you skip ahead a bit, as you can see, this is sort of the item build that you want to go on Timbersaw. First, you want to get a Hood of Defiance or Yule Scepter, something like that, to just try to protect yourself against the opponent. Then you want to go for something like Kaya and Sanja or Bloodstone, depends on the game. But you want to be able to do more damage, since you already deal a lot of damage. Then you want to try to help your team also, so for this reason he went Lotus Orb to kind of dispel Orchid Malevolence and stuff like that. This spell enchant, the slow. So yeah, you also need a bit of mana regen and armor, natural armor. So Lotus Orb is really good. So this is sort of the core item build on the hero. Afterwards you can go something like an axe also. Or yeah, also the shard is super good right now because you it enables you to do tower damage, right? Which this hero lacked. But now you do tower damage with this hero also. So because of this, I think that hero is super strong still. The first mid hero that I think is pretty good right now, especially in pops, is Tiny. The only issue that the hero has, right, is just mana. He can farm pretty easily with Avalanche and Toss combo. He can kill heroes easily, control the pace of the game, Avalanche Toss, exactly like that. Tree Grab just secures him every single asset in the lane. So because of the, you know, more frequency of the runes, and especially the water rune being added, that he gets just free mana, free HP, free heal, everything, he's able to roam a lot more, right? And he won't need to spend as much gold for clarities, buying soul rings, raindrops for HP regen and stuff like that. So because of this, I think the hero can like put a pretty good pace on the enemies, and he can have a great impact in the game just by having a great lane, picking up every bounty runes and just getting kills with the opponents and stuff like that. I think the hero is really good. Another change that impacts the hero greatly is the shard, right? Causes Tree Grab to have a no charge limit. So because of that, he can transition after like Blink Echo Saber, he can just buy SNY AC, something like that, and just have a lot of physical damage, right? The old Tiny that you would need to like level 20, I believe it was, instead of the status resistance, the Tree Grab no charges or something like that. So because of this, I think the hero is super strong. You can transition it into a carry, right, afterwards, instead of just having the combo or having to buy something like an Aghanim Scepter or something like that for the physical damage, or I mean for the massive teamfight and damage, that you can just yeah, you can just get the shard and you're still super strong. later in the game. Before that, you just need to reset, right? Just go back out of the team fight, wait for the combo, and then blink back in or stuff like that. Now you can just constantly hit people with 3 grab and then combo whenever it's necessary. You can also hit a pretty early blink timing, right? Since, as I said before, you don't really need to spend a lot of gold on and resources on having to heal yourself and stuff like that. So something like a 10-minute blink, it's average on Tiny. You can even get it like faster, 9 minutes, something like that, if you're super efficient. And if you make yourself like 2 stacks, you can easily kill supports, right, after you have a blink with a combo. And especially if you throw the 3, you do like 1000 damage or even more early game. So like no support is able to outstand your damage. Even some cores with a +1, a support that has stun or something like that is super easy to just put a pace on the enemies and control the whole map, and you can easily shut people down because of that. So I think Tiny is really strong right now. Another mid hero that I think is really strong right now is Storm Spirit. It's sort of the same as the Tiny, right? You have a lot more runes, so a lot more mana and HP to farm. For Storm Spirit, it's a really good advantage that you can gain over your opponents, because you're always able to pick up the runes, right? With Ball Lightning, just jump towards them and it's a free rune. Also because of this, you have a better early game, you can get more kills, you can get a faster Orchid timing, which means again more kills, more snowball, just run over your opponents. So yeah, you can also get the neutral items faster, because if you make yourself some stacks, you're able to farm them quite easily if you have some bounties and stuff like that, so you have enough bottle charges. After you just want to farm, right? Farm, get your Orchid, so 10-minute Orchid is just an insane timing that you can, if you manage to get something like this, it's really good. So as you can see, Storm is 101 and he has 5.4 thousand net worth, has an Orchid 10 minutes in. So it's just super strong. No hero can like tank this amount of damage, right? Orchid Storm Spirit is like 10 minutes in, level 10. So because of the implementation of the water runes and, you know, more bounty runes and stuff like that, more runes, I mean, the early game of Storm Spirit is strong, right? So that was the only issue with Storm. His early game wasn't that strong because you have to get close to the creeps, right, to static remnant. So some heroes like Monkey King and stuff like that, they usually counter Storm Spirit, now don't really do it anymore, because you can't really out trade him if he has like a lot of bottle charges. It's really hard to harass people out of the lane right now. So because of that, I think Storm Spirit is super strong. Same concept as Tiny, you can just snowball people. I mean, snowball on people and just gain a lot more control over the map than the previous patches. First position 1 hero that I think is really good, or turned out to be really good in this patch, is Luna. I believe the hero is really strong for multiple reasons. First of all, the laning stage of the hero is really strong. I mean, this spell is super good. Lunar Blessing. You just basically give yourself damage and your team damage. So you have a lot more damage to deny, a lot more damage to last hit, so it's easier to trade. Also, you have a nuke that is a pretty low cooldown, right? Just 6 seconds and you do a lot of damage. It doesn't really use that much mana, so yeah, it's a really strong laner, first of all. Because of this, you can gain an early advantage. You can flash farm with Moonglaves super easily, right? You just go jungle by buying it Morbid Mask, and you can already just jungle. So if you skip ahead a bit, as you can see, I was 1-2, right? But then I'm like almost highest. I mean, I'm highest than an enemy team. Obviously TA is gonna be able to outfarm me because of the, you know, refraction and stuff like that. But if you skip ahead a little bit more, I'm, you know, ahead of her like 50 minutes in. So I farmed like 2000 more gold in like a spawn of, I mean, a span of 5 minutes than a TA with a Desolator, farming super fast. You can easily flash farm with this hero with Moonglaves. So another idea about the hero that's really nice is that you have Eclipse, right? You have an insane amount of magical damage that other carries don't have. For example, in this game, Juggernaut or Ursa, anything like that, they only have like physical damage, right? Fury Swipes does a lot of physical damage. This isn't really an awesome spell for magical damage. Same as Juggernaut. Yeah, you can spin on top of people, but you know, most people can outrun you or buy a 4-step and you're out of there. With Luna, it's a different story because of this Eclipse. You have a lot of magical damage, which other carriers don't really have. Another thing is that you're super fast as a hero. As you can see, I'm like 400 movement speed with just Yasha and Threads, so I can farm super fast. This was a mistake that I did this game, actually. I should have bought a Windlace. Yeah, so if you gain an early advantage over the enemy teams, it's really easy to push your advantage by pushing towers, taking roars very fast, and even pushing buildings. If you manage to get something like I did, something like yeah, like I did in this game, 20 minutes, 21 minutes, 22 minutes, butterfly, no hero can stop you, right? So you can easily just walk up to a tower and hit it, and no hero is able to respond as fast. Nobody can get like a Monkey King bar 20 minutes in. Just the casual Monkey King bar, right? For example, this Juggernaut in this game barely has Battle Fury, while I have a Butterfly. And if you look at the net worth, even if you would have like 2000 more gold, he would just finish the SNY and then have like a Javelin. So he still need like 3400 more gold for an MKB. So I'm really uncountered right here. And I'm not that squishy even, right? I have 30 armor, no physical damage can harm me. Then I can farm a lot faster the BKB. So afterwards we can just take Roche and push some towers. It's very easy to take Rex. With Luna you just go up to a tower and hit it. And like no hero can just stand there because you hurt them a lot with Moonclaves. Afterwards you wanna kinda buy a BKB or Satanic, whichever you think fits best. In this game I went Satanic because I felt like Winter Warmer is able to protect me for a bit, but then I still went for a BKB, right? So yeah, I think this hero can farm a lot and apply pressure to the opponent's team and even take Roche. So it does all of the things better, right? Flash farm, a lot of magical damage, a lot of physical damage, very strong tower pusher, Roche taker. So yeah, another thing that changed is the shard. It's pretty good right now, to be honest. You just hit 2 people whenever you loosen beam, but you also Moonglaze out of it. So if you take the minus 3.5 loosen beam cooldown, you have like 2 more attacks every 2.5 seconds, and also the magical damage, and also the stun from this. So it's really strong because of this also. Even if you're not in the team fight, right? Even if you're in the margins of the team fight, you're just sort of close to it but not in the middle of it, you can still hit people with loosen beam. And you know, even the magical damage that's applied is super strong, which no other hero, as I said, can really do what she does, to be honest. So because of this reason, I think that the hero is really strong right now. The last hero on the list is Wraith King. I think the hero is really strong for multiple reasons. First of all, his laning stage is kinda easy to execute and he's a strong laner, simply because you can secure every single acid Mortal Strike, right? You just crit every 4 seconds, so every single acid you can just take it. You also can apply tower pressure with Vampiric Spirit, right, by pressing, you know, the skeletons, so it's kinda easy to get gold in that way. You can also get gold by just pressing this, but what I mean is, because you're not in danger, right? If you just press the skeletons and they go farm around the map, you're not in danger by getting ganked, because they will farm for you. So it's a really cool part about the hero. Other thing about the hero is that I think it's pretty good against meta heroes, such as Void, for example. If Void just chronospheres you, you can just come back alive, reincarnation, and you're still okay. So yeah, I think the hero is pretty strong. The build for the hero is something like Radiance first or Armlet Radiance. It depends on what you wanna do. If you go for Radiance, that means that I mean, you always want to go for Radiance, except if the opponents sort of have anti-mage, for example, or you want a faster pace gameplay. If you want a faster pace gameplay, you want to go for something like Armlet Desolator to deal more physical damage, and also Blink Dagger so you can initiate. Other items that are really good on the hero is Harblet or SNY. AC is really good, Abyssal, something like that. So you just get as tankier as possible. So if you have 2 lives, you're obviously hard to deal with. You always want to buy Radiance, except when playing versus anti-mage. It's simply because the hero doesn't really want to buy a BKB. So if you're in danger of getting kited, you will still do a lot of stuff with the Radiance. The hero is pretty good at taking Roche since you have lifesteal, and is really good at manning up against people. Like, you have a crit, you have lifesteal, which a lot of heroes want to buy items to get that, right? Troll wants to buy Satanic to get lifesteal and stuff like that. Ursa wants to buy lifesteal if possible, you know, so he can take Roche or just get strong enough items. You can do a lot of stuff with raking that other heroes can't, just by being raking. So I think the hero is really strong right now. It's kind of easy to play, obviously, but you can have a great impact in the game and win the game by just picking the hero, to be honest. He has the highest win rate in this patch as a carry, I believe, 52%. Others have like 40 something. So yeah, this hero is just super strong right now. I suggest picking it while it's still not nerfed, because I believe it's gonna get nerfed a bit more actually.